Now, in quote, now.
By
for
professionals.
But yes, we realize that even professionals do advise them if they have issues like this. So what are you advising against, the stimulants?
The stimulant varies because I'll be coming from nutrition because that's my main aspect. Anything that stimulates you to sustain an erection or to have erection, all of a sudden, always, and I repeat, always have a resultant side effects. So if you can maintain a natural process, it's a natural process that needs to be followed. Once you can maintain the natural process, I can tell you, you won't have problem.
But let me take you back a little bit. What are the usual causes? Because people begin to pop pills. There must be something that bothers them, and then they decide, what? So they see that this thing is not functioning well, and so they decide to start popping pills or go to the hospital. What are the likely causes of this?
As I said earlier on, coming from the nutrition perspective, number one is obesity, abdominal fat in men. And if you look at
and men have abdominal fat. I mean, we're talking about pot belly. It's fashionable in this side of the world.
Quote and unquote.
Yes, it is.
Yes,
that's our men are not meant to be rotund.
Yes.
They have that very.
It has a serious health.
But they say it's a sign of a wealthy.
Wealth. No, at all. It's when you accumulate too much fecal matter. Food that ought to have left your system, and most of the time fat. And the effect is that it rests on what is known as your prostate. And once the prostate is challenged, erection can never be sustained. I just mentioned one out of many.
Can you give us like five?
Five, okay. I talked about obesity.
Yeah.
Even underweight. A man that is overly underweight will have problem of erection. Number two, it has to do a lot with emotions. You might have a relationship problem with your spouse. It might, especially sexual problem, it might result to that. Depression is another important thing that we need to look at. Contemporary issues affect men.
Money.
Because it has to do with your mental health as well. So again, when you talk about stress, stress is another factor. When you are stressed, a lot of hormones, cortisol, adrenaline is one of it, secreted into your system. Unfortunately, the blood will not go to the exact place that is needed. So a lot of people are stressed. So I just mentioned some few for you.
But which one affects younger men the most? Because I got an
anxiety.
I got alarming.
Yes, it's so alarming now.
That even the younger men who are getting married in churches are having very serious issues with erection. So much so that one of our churches, as we're sitting here, so that I don't mention the name of the church, had to make it compulsory for the men to go for a medical test,
check, which is very correct.
Check,
is correct.
A sexual related medical check before they get married, before they actually agree to marry.
Yep.
And these are some of the big issues. These are young men under the age of 30, under the age of 35. What do you think is responsible for
I just said it, anxiety. Anxiety is another serious problem that a lot of people, I want to get to Jerusalem. I want to quickly get to Jerusalem. Before you know it, another related problem might come in, which is premature ejaculation. And that anxiety, as I said, once you are, anxious over certain things, stress related, and what will happen? Blood flows to your face, it flows to your palm. It will not flow to that part of your body, and you will not, as a man, not be able to sustain or maintain.
But I know a few young men in their 40s.
Yes.
And, okay, I would not say depression. I would not say
anxiety.
Anxiety. Probably a little bit of stress. That are having issues with,
erectile dysfunction.
Yeah. Or premature
ejaculation. Yeah. Let me just give you an insight into all of this. If you look at statistics, the number of young men that are down with high blood sugar, diabetes, that's a factor that we need to consider. Number two has to do with your cardiovascular health. Should you have issue with high blood pressure, you will surely have ED. So those are the factors a lot of us don't look at. And another one that is very, very important is the issue of infection that is not properly treated, that found its way to the prostate gland. Once the prostate gland of a man is affected, as it were, such a man cannot enjoy sexual intercourse. So those are the factors a lot of people don't consider. And before you can go for any medication, any stimulant, you need to meet with a consultant to check your health status, whether you are diabetic, whether you have high blood pressure. All of these things, a lot of people don't go there.
They don't even go for it.
They just go for Okpawaju, Okpaenyi.
Anyway, to join us in the conversation this morning, this is our community report today. It's all about you. We're talking about your health and those private things that really do affect you, that you really do not want to talk about. But you can send questions on the show via WhatsApp or SMS. Send us a message to 08064738133. You get to talk about your health. You get to contribute. You get to ask questions. This is your opportunity. Remember how we do it? Send a WhatsApp message. Send a text message to 08064738133. We get to take your messages, and of course you have the specialist who will be giving you some answers today. But let me quickly take you a little bit into that story once again. Remember that it was all about pills. Do you think that these pills, recommended as they were, should men even be taking them in the first place?
Yeah, if there is a condition, your condition is established, and you've consulted with a professional. Funny enough, the pills might be the last resort.
Option.
Yes. Ordinary, what we call talk therapy, counseling can solve this problem.
Wow.
Yes.
Talk
therapy.
But Nigerians do not talk. As a matter of fact, I think we feel that it's a taboo for us to actually share some of these problems. Because how will you say when you get to to share it with your wife is even a problem in the first place.
In the first instance.
Your wife is even to share it with your doctor at times.
It's a problem.
The
doctor tells you what is wrong. You say, I just think something is wrong. Where? Just general checkup.
It has to do with
general
ego.
checkup.
Yes, and
really?
Yes, for men.
Even when it has to do with your health?
Yes, it has to do with ego. It's just like a man with money in his pocket, just like a man that is able to take the woman to cloud 9. You just feel on top of the world. It's like, oh, I'm good. The moment you fall short of all of that, believe you me, it affects your psychic. This ED we are talking about, apart from being physical, is also psychological. It's emotional. So opening up to talk, you need to consult with a professional. Talk therapy would have solved that problem. Would have.
Now, does it have to do with age also?
Yes.
Because you find some men very active, probably in their early days and going into their mid-50s.
I will explain. Let me just open our eyes to see some things that eat into all of us. As we are aging, there are arteries in our system that as we are aging, those arteries becomes hardened. By implication, they lose their elasticity. The same thing with the penile arteries. So it loses, as it's losing the elasticity, it will not be able to accommodate oxygenated blood to Aso Rock. Once oxygenated...
I love your terms. Jerusalem,
yes.
Cloudland, Aso Rock.
Because we're on TV, and of course...
It has to be civil.
Yes, has to be. And the moment oxygenated blood is not getting to elastic arteries, there is problem. There's going to be problem. So the arteries, number one, is also aging due to diet. You know, I told you that's my core area. We take a lot of cholesterol producing food that is not helping us. We need to check our diet. There are healthy oils that a man needs to be on, and there are certain things they call vasodilators that we sort of, like if I may mention, is an amino acid known as L-arginine that can dilate, open up the arteries so that blood will flow through. Even the vein, once it relaxes, blood can get out of it.
Definitely flow through.
So the whole system, it's a whole system. You cannot separate one from the other. Your hormone, as I said, the blood flow, and the nerves.
Let's look quickly at the food options that people have. You want to get rid of some of these issues, because for me it's even more alarming for the younger people.
It is.
Because we eat a lot of rubbish. We'll pick up practically everything on the street now and just pop into the mouth. And the men are even at risk, more at risk, because majority of them do not cook. They leave home really early. For those who work, for those who even do not work, they eat by the side of the road. I mean, somebody said to me, I can drink garri on top of a gutter. It doesn't matter to me as long as it's food. I'm just eating, you know. So the way it is, what are they? Let's talk about a quick correction. Food options that will help you maintain good health when it comes to this side, men's health. You know.
Let me quickly add this. It's not about eating. It's not all about what you eat. It's what you eat, when you eat, and how you eat. It has to do with that in four dimension. There is a natural cycle that this body goes through.
Okay.
You need to feed accordingly to the natural process. Once you negate all of this, there is always a result. I mean, there is result, that the repercussion that you need to face. As we said earlier on, let me quickly digress a little, go back to the question she asked me. You'll be shocked, man. You'll find some men in their 70s that their libido is still very high up there.
Yeah.
They have babies.
Shocked. Yes.
I know somebody who just had a baby.
Baby, yes, 80. My dad had our last boy. Is a man now in his late 70s. Yeah. So what we need to look at goes beyond eating. What are you eating in the first place? As I said, there are some food that are predisposing us to a lot of health risk, including ED that we are talking about. A lot of it. So we need to, let me quickly say, we need to go on fruits. If I can mention avocado, pear, it's very important. The watermelon.
Okay.
They are to really help us with the quantity of zinc that we need, the quantity of selenium that we need. I'm giving you some vitamins and minerals, some trace minerals that can help your system to function properly. If you can get these things organically into the system, you are good to go. You are good to go. And let me quickly add this. A man that is not taking the woman to cloud 9, number one is shortchanging the woman of a God-given beauty.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Beauty.
Yes. A good intercourse, a woman that climaxes, releases about 2 hormones. One to help with her collagen of her skin, the other to calm her down.
Really?
So you see a woman that is calm, you know she's been
really?
See? So see, I'm on air and my mouth is wide. My mouth is
really?
My mouth is just wide open.
Seriously?
This is a discovery.
Yes.
Like
the collagen,
skin.
yeah.
Oh.
So it's really necessary
It
that
is
the
important.
woman gets
it means
climax.
that it means that they're not going to need to do all of those yellowing and things that people are doing now.
No.
Oh, really? So you really need to do. So whenever I see a woman that is looking really polished, I'm going to be asking questions. But I'm going to be asking the question and ask the lady.
No, but the aspect of being relaxed, I know.
Yes.
Well, maybe I should ask the question and tell the lady. How's your let me just say it. I'm just being funny. But really, really for the woman, the nice out of beauty, that's deep.
It is.
Wow.
There is what the hormone known as endorphin.
So if you know a woman that is really cranky, you can automatically just assume,
know that
assume what the problem is.
She's been starved.
Now, people there is this general assumption that nuts, what we call Hausa.
Okay, walnut.
Walnut, yes.
Fantastic,
walnut,
you know, fantastic.
Good for men.
Yes,
it's
rich in the unsaturated fatty acid.
Wow.
That also helps with the elasticity of the
veins,
of the arteries and the veins.
Wow.
Yeah.
So these are some of the fruits, because I'm sure the men, I mean, even the men in the studio are looking at me like this morning and saying, kindly give us, because you only mentioned avocado and, watermelon. But let's give them more options, because so that the women, when they're going home today, can buy, and then the men, when they're going home, men do not like taking fruits, especially when it has to do with them buying with their money.
You know, it's relative. It's relative, including the so-called pineapple. It's another fantastic. It cleanses the urinary tract.
But what about the fact that pineapple, people think it is
too sugary?
Too sugary for people who have diabetes?
Diabetes, yes. You may consider there is what we call glycemic index of fruits.
Okay.
You need to factor. All of these fruits you need to meet with a professional to recommend for you. So it will not. It will be out of place if I just come on here, start mentioning fruits, and somebody out there just, you know, you meet with a professional to tell you, look at your health history and recommend the appropriate. But fruits and vegetables, fantastic.
Because that's the question that I have here. About 2, 3, 4, 5 people want to know the fruits that would help better their experience in the bedroom. But not to worry, you can just...
And there is, let me quickly add, because I know time is against us. We need to talk about an exercise for men. There is a particular exercise that will help blood flow to the pelvis, and that will also help with the penile arteries to function properly. It's called Kegel.
Kegel exercise.
Kegel exercise.
It was an exercise that we were taught when we delivered.
Yes, of course. It's also, to fasting. I mean, to farm it up. To farm up.
For men?
For men, we do that too.
Oh, really?
I know women do that. I know men do it too.
It's superb. It's superb. That was why I said the pill should be the last option. There are natural supplements that you can be on, but going on taking some stimulant, as it were, and we need to encourage men to reduce or stop consumption of alcohol.
That one is also...
it's a major causative factor.
Okay.
Alcohol.
But a lot of people can do without alcohol, unfortunately.
They should reduce the quantity.
The quantity that they do take.
Yeah.
All right, looking back to the issue of younger boys. Yeah. We've talked about the young, the old, now younger boys.
Yeah.
That was the time I was having a discussion with a doctor, and he was talking about how to care for your boy child to ensure that he maintains a good pelvic line and all that, so the
scrotum.
What do you do about the scrotum?
Yeah, I could remember when I was younger, when my mother was. I'm still a very shy person. My mother was finding it tough to get to see because I cover
staff of office.
Yes, my staff of office. So she was concerned. I think I was in secondary school. He said, does this thing come up at all, Bayo? Yeah, I was now wondering, what does she mean? No, she was actually playing a motherly role. Okay. A mother should check the scrotum of the child, a male child. If the two balls are there, are descending off the system. The moment they retract back into the system, that's a major challenge. A major challenge that has to do with the hormone called testosterone. Okay. You notice that the boy will just be up and about, just having energy, and before you know it, the thing disturbs, and it might affect his fertility later on in life. So a mother, including the father, can just check the ball. If the ball is actually descending, the wisdom of God made it in such a way that it descends. Because that's where the
At what age do you begin to descend or
early,
check?
Even right from the day the baby is born. It's a male child. You notice that the doctors, the nurses, they check the balls, whether it's actually descending. The earlier you get it done, the better for the health of the child.
All right, let me take some messages. This person wants to know, I don't know how particularly to take this question, but he wants to know why he's spent less than 2 minutes in the bedroom.
It has to do.
And he said his woman, his woman complains.
Yeah. You know, I said something earlier on when I was defining ED. It's a process.
It's talking about early ejaculation.
Ejaculation, that most men, it's so common now. Before you know it, the milk is poured, which is not supposed to be the case. It has to do with anxiety, as I said. Talk therapy can help. And there are certain, maybe you must have heard about ginseng. Can help.
Ginseng, yes.
You know, it can help with inner stamina, to build the inner stamina, endurance that can sustain the rigor.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's so common now. You just find, because of the anxiety, depression, the guy is not making enough money, as it were, and before you know it, it carries it to the bedroom.
And it begins to affect every other part of his life.
So my advice is to leave it
probably
by the door.
In his subconscious mind.
Because it has to do with your emotion, your mind.
Your mind, your mental health.
Has to do with it.
All right, but so many calls. If age is part of the problem, why is it that the northern men do, at the age of 80, are still fathering children? That's the question this person
that
has.
question has been answered while I was explaining.
Yes.
You find out some men still perform wonderfully well.
Yeah, because
I think he said it has to do with the way of life, what they eat, you know, when they eat and how they eat.
Okay. Can you explain, sir, the good in granite? Pastor Ogomiye sent this.
Granite is awesome. Apart from the healthy calorie in granite,
okay,
you get the right oil.
Okay.
That is good for your cardiovascular system.
That's for the heart.
For the heart. And when we talk about the heart, we talk about cardiovascular, you talk about the arteries, including
so
the
granite is much better than cashew nut.
Cashew nut is also fantastic. You cannot isolate. That was why I said for individuals.
Because there was a time I was reading up on cashew nut, and I understand cashew nut is fattening.
No. Let me correct an impression. I've met a lot of people saying avocado pear is also fattening. No, no. There is what we call polyunsaturated fatty acid. Plenty. You know, when you see them like that, you might want to say, oh, this thing looks so fatty. That you can, no, it does not impair negatively on your cholesterol.
Because actually why I decided to read up on cashew nut was I eat cashew nut a whole lot. I could buy a cashew nut, a bottle of cashew nut.
Should I shock you, man? It's good for your kidney.
Almost finish it.
Yeah.
But I stopped eating it because all of a sudden I realized I was adding weight. And I know that I eat well, I eat right.
And weight is a woman's problem.
I know that I do all that. I don't overeat. I don't, I know I watch all that, other than I don't exercise anyway. But I know I eat healthy.
Yeah.
So I looked at what I was doing in excess, and that was
your cashew nut.
So I had to go and read up on cashew nut. I realized that cashew nut is actually fattening. I said, okay, could it be cashew nut? I had to just stop my cashew nuts. Because I love groundnut.
It depends on your sauce, man.
I love cashew nut. I love groundnut. So.
Yeah.
Let me quickly take 2 questions so that we can go on the show. Hello, please. Is bitter cola good for men?
Bitter cola, nicotine is addictive.
Okay.
When we talk about all of these things, the nicotine in bitter cola tends to hardens the arteries over time. Yes, you might get the satisfaction temporarily. Over time, it affects the arteries. It affects.
Okay, this person says, I'm enjoying the health talk and wants to know more of the benefit of intercourse on a woman's skin.
Hallelujah.
and the person had to take you to Israel now.
Unfortunately, we cannot go there.
Yeah.
So what about this?
It has been dealt with. But maybe she didn't.
Basically, it just means that you have to get to Jerusalem so that it will better your skin.
Exactly.
What about a situation whereby some people do finish during the first time, but during the second time, they last longer.
They last longer. That is one of the techniques that we recommend for people with premature ejaculation.
Okay. Okay. This one says thanks for the program, and he wants he listed all the things that you have been saying, and he's sending us notes about it so that he doesn't forget. Apparently, maybe he's making notes on WhatsApp so he doesn't forget. Hello, ma'am, 53 years old, and okay, what was it you called it?
Aso Rock.
No.
Jerusalem.
No. The
staff of office.
Staff of office. The staff of office.
You're not serious. So I have it all in my head.
The staff of office is strong before, but not anymore, and he's beginning to have concerns about it. So you need to see your doctor. Just go see a doctor.
There could be an underlying
health issue right there. So you need to see a doctor. Is it true that when a woman that is always sickly, okay, this one, I'll send you a personal answer to this question when I talk to the doctor after the show. But we need to go and okay, this person wants to know about how to care for the babies, check the baby's scrotum and all that. So it's not something we can demonstrate for you on the show, but what we need you to do, this is an information, what we do on the show is to give you the information. You go to a hospital and then you tell them to show you how to check. Go to your hospital, tell your nurse to show you how to check, tell your doctor to show you how to check, so that you can maintain the health of your male child all the way from now till they get to that adulthood. You are doing them a whole lot of favor by doing that for them now. Last one, I'd like to know, okay, this person is begging for the number of the person in the studio, and he said, in fact, he wrote it in bold letters, I am seriously enjoying the Health Talk, ma. Thank you very much for joining us on the show, Mr. Ijoba. It is a pleasure having you. I'm sure that our people were truly, if informed. Properly informed, entertained, because we had all of the terms, the staff of office, Jerusalem, the Aso Rock, and Mr. Ijoba, you have to come again so that we can do even behind this at the back. Oh, I'm going to give him all of the questions. All the questions that I cannot voice out.
Behind the scene,
behind the scene,
they are really enjoying it.
Oh, because the men behind
right here in the studio.
But I must say thank you.
All the men came into the studio.
They came to stay with us in the studio this morning. I must say thank you to Mr. Samson Ajayi, to Shito for being in the studio, to Mr. The forgotten ones, for being in the studio, and of course Alpha had to come down to the studio as well. So I saw all the men coming into the studio because I know that we're talking about males health. So today they are going to say you're not being partial, you're not doing women.
Exactly.
Monica Kenny, how do you close? Let's go.
Well, I just want to say that yes, said it, that we should eat healthy, eating healthy at the right time, know how to eat it, and when to eat it. Stay healthy. I'm Minka Kenny.
My name is Tomi Siojo, and of course, we do appreciate Mr. Ijoba for joining us on the show. We'll see you again tomorrow, bright and early. Trust me, he's going to be back in the studio, maybe sometime next week, maybe sometime the other week, but we're going to be talking about men's health. Since I know that the men are watching the show now, and I know that you people really like to talk about it.
We just bring some other topic other than this, some other interesting topic that affects men, and they cannot come out boldly to talk about it.
But they like sending me messages.
Anyway, we'll see you tomorrow.